Alright, so welcome back to the channel. You already know what this video is based on the picture behind me. And, the Raptors season came to, we could say it was bittersweet. It was a hard fought 7 game series. Obviously, we know that the Raptors were on the verge of going down 0-3. But then OG came along with his heroics and hit that crazy game-winning shot with zero point 0.5 seconds to go with an amazing dish from Lowry over a 7'6" taco fall, which basically saved us from going a sweep to, like I said, a tough 7 game series. So yeah, I mean the Raptors. We knew that without Kawhi Leonard on our team, that we weren't going to repeat. We had a feeling that the ceiling could be the Eastern Conference Finals, but we fell just a little short. Um, as you know, the seventh game in that series between the Celtics and Raptors did not go our way. Pascal Siakam wasn't himself. We just didn't have that go-to scorer to kind of close it out for us and help us advance. Lowry was tremendous. You know, he was probably the most consistent player along with Serge Ibaka in that series. Fred VanVleet was up and down. And yeah, our season basically came to an end, and there's a few contracts that are kind of expiring. And there's a few free agents that we could sign that are on the market that could potentially fit our culture. And we're starting off with the rumor that's been going around about Montrez Harrell following the Toronto Raptors on Instagram. Yes, we are starting this topic based on an Instagram follow. We're not quite sure when he started following them. It might have been before. So yeah, we don't know when he started following the Raptors. It could have been before the bubble. Could have been after the bubble once they exited the playoffs. Um, you know, both us and the Clippers exited the second round in the 7 game series. Only difference was um, for us, it was a close game. Denver blew them out, and I'm talking about the Clippers. Blew out the Clippers by 15 points. I think it was like 104-89. Took them out. They blew a 3-1 lead, so it wasn't technically like us that went to a 7 game series, but we both exited at the same time. Now, there's a lot of friction that's been going on with the Clippers locker room about Paul George and some of the role players on that team saying how they're okay with Kawhi Leonard getting that type of treatment, but they're not okay with Paul George because some of the people on that roster think that they're just as good as Paul George. And obviously, based on Paul George's or pandemic piece, playoff performances in the bubble. I mean, he was very inconsistent. He had like a few 10-point games, a 15-point game, 11-point game, a 9-point game. So there's a few people um, that were obviously frustrated, and I believe Montrez Harrell might have been one of them, especially coming off a Sixth Man of the Year award. Now, can't say this guy was any better. I mean, averaging 2.5 rebounds in the bubble. I mean, well, yeah, in the bubble in that Denver series was unacceptable. And although even in the regular season, Montrezl Harrell did average 19 points, 7 rebounds, about 2 assists, and a block per game. Now those are solid numbers. The only thing is he doesn't stretch the floor like that, and he's not really that good defensively. And our whole squad is a defensive-minded team. We already know that. They've been like that for the past few years now, regardless of who's on our team. Um, but saying that, Montrezl Harrell does fit our age, our group with Pascal and Fred VanVleet and Norman Powell. I think Montrezl is only 26 years old. And obviously we have one of the better player development, staff in the league. And people know that, especially with, undrafted Fred VanVleet. We know how he turned out. He's about to get a big paycheck. We're about to talk about that in another video. Pascal Siakam, he was a 27 pick in the first round, and He was in the G League for a bit, won MVP there, won a championship with them, then got brought up to the Raptors, was part of that bench mob in 2018, and then became a eventual starter once Kawhi Leonard came on the team and won Most Improved. So we know, we have a good track record of the more recent players that we have that are actually ascending as a player, and they're making big dollars. The only problem with the Montrez Harrell thing for the Raptors signing him is we're not sure about Marc Gasol yet. There are rumors about him going to Europe or maybe going to the Clippers. Um, Maybe the Raptors sign him to a 1 year deal. He is coming to the end of his career. So we got to figure that part out. And Serge Ibaka, even though he's only 31 years old, he is on the second half of his career, and he might be looking for another long-term contract. But he does love the Raptors. Masai does have a good relationship with them, and maybe they gave they have a 1 year deal, a short-term deal with both of them. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out down the road. But Serge Ibaka, there were rumors about him having a $28 million one year deal, because obviously they're looking to the future, which is the 2021 free agency class with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you know everyone's eyes are on him, and they don't want to spend all their money this offseason to kind of jeopardize what they can do for the following offseason. Montrezl Harrell, like I said, he's only 26. He might be looking for a big payday, especially coming off the Sixth Man of the Year award. Um, he might be looking for a long-term deal. This might be the only time he can cash out. This situation kind of reminds me of the Bismack Biyombo situation. He is kind of like that energy player, and Bismack was about 24 or 25 when he was with the Raptors going into that summer, and he cashed out big with Orlando. It was like a 4 year, $70 million deal. When the cap space that kind of flew up. Obviously, this year with the bubble and the pandemic, the cap space is kind of lower now. Um, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna probably ask for something around 20 million. Don't know if he'll get that for sure. It might be a little lower based on his playoff performance, but we'll see. If he's down to sign a 1 year deal, I don't mind signing him. I mean, he's a good piece, and he still has room to grow. Uh, but at the at the expense of Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka, I don't think I would do that, because Serge Ibaka had his best season, I think, throughout his whole career, including OKC. I mean, the way he shot the ball this season, especially in the playoffs, and the way he defends the rim, whether he comes off the bench or he's a starter, I mean, he's very valuable to our team, and we have the continuity if he comes back. I don't think he's gonna leave, uh, but we never know. Rumors are Charlotte is looking at him. The crazy thing about this is there's a lot of teams out there like the New York Knicks, Detroit Pistons, and the Charlotte Hornets, maybe even the Sacramento Kings, who have money to blow. Money to blow just because they know there's certain players that they're not going to attract to their market, like the high end players. So they get pieces like this. Um, they overpay for them just to kind of, compensate for what they don't have. And Montrezl Harrell could be in that situation. I don't know if he cares about winning. He looks like he cares about winning. Um, but we'll see. We just don't know. Like I said, he would be a pretty good fit for us, especially when we go small. But I just feel like he's a better version of Bismack Biyombo because he knows how to kind of score in the paint. If he can develop a 3 point shot, kind of like take the same route like Pascal Siakam does, he would be definitely valuable. Pascal has a lot of shit to do too as well. I mean, his playoff performance being the number one option this year wasn't anywhere remotely close to good. Um, Jaylen Brown had his number. Even in the Brooklyn series, even though we swept them, that's kind of why he went under the radar. Um, he didn't play that well. He had a 1-2 games. He was very inconsistent. But hopefully he can turn it around and have a better season coming forward. I mean, going forward. And I believe that the crowd not being there and kind of hyping him up kind of took away from how he played in the playoffs. Because you know how the Raptor fans go crazy, and it definitely hypes people up when they're on a roll. Or if they're not on a roll and they're trying to make a shot, the fans, they're always behind their players. But yeah, let me know what you think about the Montrez Harrell trade. I believe that he's going to ask for too much of a price and a long-term deal for Masai and the Raptors to commit. But if he is willing to bet on himself, quote unquote, like Fred VanVleet says, um, I wouldn't mind having him and seeing how he does with the Raptors. Especially if Marcus All decides to go to Europe and end his career there. I hope he doesn't go to any other team like Golden State or the Clippers, because even though Marcus All played like trash on the offensive end for us during both series, whether it was the Celtics or the Brooklyn series, there's a lot of things that he did or does that doesn't come on the stat sheet that's very valuable for us, especially against bigs like Jokic, who the Clippers could have used, or Joel Embiid. You know what he does. He's living rent free in Joel Embiid's mind. So, especially going into next season, even though he has his ups and downs on the offensive end, I would like to see him and Serge Ibaka back. But worst case scenario, we don't. Montrezl Harrell, you're more than welcome to come as long as it's not a long-term deal. But that's going to do for now. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you want Montrezl Harrell on the team. Like I said, the Raptors, he's been following them, don't know how long, but that's definitely something to look forward to, coming into the off season and free agency opening up. But if you enjoyed this video, like I said, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get into some other videos about Fred VanVleet, Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka's free agency, whether Kyle Lowry, um, you know, is going to be ending his career with the Toronto Raptors, or if they're going to kind of use him as trade bait to lure you know, some assets that we can use moving forward. But yeah, till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace!